Oh, pick Rousey up. Oh!
Ever thought about which WWE women made the biggest impact with their raw strength and presence? These ladies weren't just strong, they were straight-up icons who earned their place in the Hall of Fame. Whether they were dominating the ring with their powerful frames or leaving a legacy that'll never be forgotten, they totally changed the game for female wrestlers. So, let's see some of the heaviest female wrestlers in WWE history. Awesome Kong. Whether she's slamming opponents in the ring or lighting up your Netflix screen, Kia Stevens, also known as Awesome Kong, has always proven she's more than just a wrestler. Starting in WWE under Karma, her wrestling career quickly evolved into the powerhouse persona we now know as Awesome Kong. With a background in the Japanese wrestling scene and indie promotions, Stevens made a serious impact, competing in prestigious organizations like Shimmer, Impact Wrestling, and Ring of Honor. And of course, we all know the legendary rivalry between Awesome Kong and Gail Kim. But there's so much more to her story than that. Throughout her career, Kia showcased her natural athleticism and quickly earned a reputation as one of the most agile heavy hitters in the game. Her size and raw strength were equally matched by her surprising speed and technical skills, making her one of the most dominant forces in women's wrestling. But she didn't stop there. Beyond the ring, Kia also proved herself as an actress, playing the beloved character Welfare Queen Tammy Dawson in Netflix's hit series Glow. Whether she's slamming opponents in the ring or lighting up the screen, Awesome Kong has always proven she's not just a wrestler, she's a true multi-talented star. Nia Jax. With every slam and every move, Nia Jax proves that in WWE, it's not just about speed and skill. Sometimes, it's all about pure power. Standing at 6 feet tall, she's known for her incredible strength and massive size. The moment she steps into the arena, fans know they're in for something truly unforgettable. Weighing in at around 123 kilograms, Nia Jax holds the title of the heaviest female wrestler in WWE. Her size isn't just for show, it's a huge advantage in the ring. Whether she's slamming opponents to the mat or throwing them across the ring, her raw power is a major part of her wrestling style. Nia made her WWE debut in 2014 and quickly became one of the most prominent figures in the company. She's won multiple titles, including the Raw Women's Championship, and has earned the admiration of fans for her no-nonsense attitude and fearlessness in taking on anyone, no matter their size. Her journey in WWE has made her a fan favorite and an undeniable force to be reckoned with. On January 27, 2016, episode of NXT, Nia Jax made her comeback after a month-long break due to a storyline injury, securing a victory over Liv Morgan. Then, on the February 10th episode, she joined forces with Marie to attack Bayley and Carmella following their championship match, until Asuka swooped in to make the save. This set up a tag team match on February 24th, where Jax and Marie came out on top. Fast forward to May 25th, and Nia earned her shot at the NXT Women's Championship by winning a triple threat match against Alexa Bliss and Carmella, making her the #1 contender. However, on June 8th at NXT TakeOver, she was unable to capture the title. In the July 20th episode of NXT, Bayley defeated Jax in a one-on-one match, and by December 28th, Nia faced Asuka for the NXT Women's Championship one last time in her final NXT match, but came up short. Fast forward to the main roster in 2016 to 2018, where Nia made a major shift. In March, after being humiliated and betrayed by her former best friend, Raw Women's Champion Alexa Bliss, who body-shamed her and mocked her personality, Jax turned face, and the rivalry was on. This feud set the stage for a title match between the two at WrestleMania 34, where Jax triumphed, capturing the Raw Women's Championship for the first time in her career. She successfully defended her title a month later at Backlash, defeating Bliss in a rematch. However, in May, Jax found herself in a heated feud with Ronda Rousey, which led to her challenging Rousey for the title at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. During this feud, Jax briefly tapped into her villainous side once again. However, at Money in the Bank on June 17th, Nia lost her title to Bliss, who cashed in her Money in the Bank contract after attacking both Jax and Rousey during their match. A month later, at Extreme Rules on July 15th, Jax invoked her rematch clause but was unsuccessful in regaining her title in an Extreme Rules match. But Nia's impact goes beyond just her in-ring skills. As a plus-size woman in a sport that often celebrates more traditional, smaller body types, she's broken barriers and shown the world that strength comes in all shapes and sizes. Beth Phoenix. From the moment Beth Phoenix made her WWE debut, it was clear she wasn't just another wrestler. She was a game changer, blending brute strength with a killer instinct. Beth Phoenix, aka the Glamazon, is one of the biggest powerhouses in the wrestling world. Born on November 24, 1980, Beth brought an unstoppable mix of physical strength, unmatched wrestling knowledge, and killer in-ring psychology that made her an undeniable force in WWE. From the second she debuted, it was obvious she was breaking boundaries and pushing the limits of what female wrestlers could achieve. Beth wasn't just athletic, she could read her opponents like an open book and dominate them in the ring. And let's not forget her signature move, the Glam Slam, which left a serious mark on anyone who dared to stand in her way. Her unforgettable performance in the Women's Royal Rumble, where she outlasted some of WWE's best, along with her reigns as WWE Women's Champion, solidified her as one of the most influential figures in the history of women's wrestling. But Beth's impact on the sport goes far beyond her championship titles. She broke so many barriers for women in wrestling, paving the way for future stars to step into the ring with the same level of respect and recognition as their male counterparts. Even after retiring, Beth continues to pop up for incredible moments, like teaming up with her husband Edge in mixed tag team bouts. Her love for the sport is undeniable, and her passion continues to shine through everything she does. Asuka. Asuka, also known as the Empress of Tomorrow, is one of WWE's most electrifying and dominant female wrestlers. Hailing from Japan, Asuka's wrestling career began in several different promotions, quickly earning a reputation as one of the most skilled and unpredictable performers in the business. With her insane athleticism, agility, and sheer intensity, Asuka set herself apart from the competition, earning her well-deserved title as one of the most dangerous women in the ring. One of the most jaw-dropping achievements in WWE history was Asuka's undefeated streak, which lasted over 900 days. That incredible run is a testament to her unparalleled dominance and the kind of resilience that makes her a true powerhouse. Her rise to the top began in NXT, where she claimed the Women's Championship in just 6 months, proving that her raw talent and relentless determination were unstoppable from the get-go. What really adds to Asuka's allure is her captivating and mysterious persona. Fans are drawn to her fierce intensity and her unpredictable moves that keep everyone on their toes. Whether it's her devastating kicks, her deadly submission holds, or her lightning-fast strikes, Asuka keeps her opponents scrambling and always leaves them guessing. Her passion for wrestling shines through every time she steps into the ring, whether she's chasing a championship or just putting on a jaw-dropping match for the fans. Mount Fiji. In the world of wrestling, Mount Fiji was a literal giant, and she didn't simply dominate her opponents. She bulldozed through them with power and presence that left everyone in awe. Weighing in at a whopping 350 pounds, she became one of the heaviest female wrestlers ever. Known for her huge size and crazy strength, Mount Fiji quickly made a name for herself as one of the most intimidating wrestlers to step into the ring. She was all about dominance, using her power to totally overwhelm her opponents. But what really set her apart was how she moved. For someone her size, she had a surprising amount of agility, breaking the mold of what people expected from women like her. While her wrestling career is legendary, Mount Fiji's life outside the ring was just as wild. She even got caught up in a high-profile incident with Los Angeles County Police, which made big waves in the media. But it wasn't just her larger-than-life personality that fans loved. Mount Fiji's impact on wrestling was massive. And while she made her mark, there was another wrestler who spent years dominating the ring and going through a personal transformation that would end up being one of the most inspiring stories in wrestling history. Bayley. Bayley's story is the ultimate underdog journey, going from a WWE fan with big dreams to one of the company's most beloved and unstoppable superstars. Born Pamela Rose Martinez on June 15, 1989, her passion for wrestling sparked at a young age, and she poured all that energy into making it her career. From the moment Bayley stepped into the WWE ring, it was clear she was something special. With her contagious energy, trademark hugger persona, and signature smile, she quickly became a fan favorite. But her story isn't your typical fairy tale. Over time, she completely reinvented herself, taking on a darker, more villainous side that only added to her depth as a performer. Whether playing the underdog hero or a ruthless antagonist, Bayley's ability to switch things up has kept her at the center of WWE programming. One of her biggest accomplishments? A record-breaking 380-day reign as WWE SmackDown Women's Champion, making her the longest reigning champ in the title's history. She also made history as the first ever Women's Triple Crown champion, showing just how versatile she is. Bayley's victory in the Money in the Bank ladder match further solidified her as one of WWE's most influential stars. Her relentless drive also led her to become one of the first female superstars to compete in Saudi Arabia. Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch, also known as the Irish Last Kicker, has become one of the most iconic and inspiring figures in WWE history. Born Rebecca Quinn on January 30, 1987, in Dublin, Ireland, Becky's journey to superstardom is nothing short of extraordinary. From a young age, she knew wrestling was her calling, and by the time she was just 15, she was already stepping into the ring. But her road to success wasn't smooth, far from it. Becky faced countless obstacles, including a brutal head injury that put her on the sidelines for a while. But through it all, she showed the world what resilience truly means. Becky made her return to WWE in 2013, and that was when her rise to the top really took off. In 2016, she achieved a major milestone by becoming the first ever SmackDown Women's Champion, but that was just the beginning. Her defining moment came at WrestleMania 35, where she made history by becoming the first woman to headline and win the main event, defeating Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair in a match that forever changed the landscape of women's wrestling. What makes Becky so special is her unmatched mix of technical skill, fierce determination, and that unrelenting charisma that draws fans and fellow wrestlers in. She didn't just become a champion, she became the face of the women's evolution in WWE. She has constantly broken barriers, pushed limits, and set new standards for what female talent can achieve in the industry. Becky Lynch isn't just a wrestler. She's a trailblazer, a force that's empowered and inspired countless fans and athletes around the world. Her legacy is all about challenging the norm, empowering others, and proving that hard work and persistence can lead to greatness. Her impact isn't just felt in the ring. It will continue to shape the future of wrestling for generations to come. Sasha Banks. With her fearless attitude, jaw-dropping athleticism, and undeniable talent, Sasha Banks has become one of WWE's most beloved superstars, has firmly cemented her place in WWE history as a true superstar, known for her jaw-dropping. Sasha, born Mercedes Justine Kastner Varnado on January 26, 1992, athleticism, high-flying moves, and sharp ring IQ, Sasha has proven over and over that she's more than worthy of standing at the top. With her bold personality and unmatched skills, she quickly became one of WWE's most electrifying and beloved female superstars. Sasha's career is filled with championship glory, including multiple reigns as both WWE Raw and SmackDown Women's Champion. She's constantly redefined what it means to be a top-tier talent in the women's division, pushing boundaries and raising the bar with every match. But one of her most defining moments came when she made history as part of the first ever women's match to headline a WWE pay-per-view event, teaming up with Charlotte Flair at Hell in a Cell. That match wasn't just about two of the best in the ring. It marked a groundbreaking shift for women in WWE, proving they could headline the biggest events and steal the show. Sasha's journey doesn't stop in the ring, though. She's branched out into acting, modeling, and business, expanding her influence far beyond WWE. Reggie Bennett. Reggie Bennett may not always make the top of the list when people talk about women's wrestling legends, but her impact is undeniable. Back in the late 1980s, when women's wrestling was just starting to change, Reggie carved out a unique place for herself. Standing at a solid 250 pounds, she was a powerhouse in an era when most women wrestlers were smaller, more delicate, and often stuck in supporting roles. But Reggie wasn't about being anyone's backup. She was there to take the spotlight. Her journey took her all over the map, from the United States independent circuits to Canada, Japan, and Puerto Rico. Reggie's approach to wrestling was all about power and technique, and that earned her the respect of both fans and fellow wrestlers. While she didn't always get the mainstream attention that some of her peers did, her contributions to women's wrestling were huge. Known for her tireless work ethic and dedication to the craft, Reggie was a rare gem at a time when women's wrestling wasn't always appreciated. Her career helped shape the independent circuit and laid the foundation for future generations of female wrestlers to break through barriers and demand the respect they deserve. Dump Matsumoto. Dump Matsumoto wasn't your average wrestler. She was a total game changer, turning every match into a wild, unforgettable show. A major player in All Japan Women's Pro Wrestling during the 1980s, Dump quickly became infamous for her brutal style and no-holds-barred attitude. Standing at 5'4" and weighing around 200 pounds, she radiated danger and charisma, earning the nickname the Queen of Violence. But it wasn't just her size or strength that set her apart. It was her ability to turn chaos into an art form. Matsumoto was a pioneer of hardcore wrestling, often using chains, chairs, and even scissors in her matches. She didn't just wrestle, she brought a whole new level of intensity to the ring. Her legendary rivalry with Chigusa Nagayo became the stuff of legends, with their brutal battles drawing huge TV audiences in Japan. Fans still remember these epic encounters for their raw emotion and physical intensity, often leaving Nagayo bloodied but never defeated in spirit. As the leader of the notorious Gokuwaku-do stable, Dump didn't just make waves, she made an impact. Her entrance, complete with wild hair, face paint, and a commanding presence, was a spectacle that earned her plenty of boos. Matsumoto's persona, combined with her ability to incite chaos, made her one of the most feared and respected figures in the wrestling world. Whether she was in the ring causing havoc or on the sidelines leading her stable, Dump Matsumoto left a lasting legacy in professional wrestling, influencing countless wrestlers who would follow in her footsteps. Klondyke Kate. She started as a force in the ring, but Klondyke Kate's real story is about the power it took to reinvent herself. Klondyke Kate's wrestling career spanned over 3 decades, and her journey is still incredibly inspiring today. She kicked things off in 1978 and made her debut in 1980, quickly becoming known as one of the toughest women in wrestling. At around 300 pounds, she was a powerhouse in the ring. But Kate's story isn't just about wrestling. She went through an incredible transformation that really touched a lot of people. Over the years, she lost an amazing 392 pounds, showing off some serious willpower and determination both in and out of the ring. The fact that she was able to juggle such a personal challenge while still dominating her wrestling career is what makes her story even more amazing. Even after she retired in 2011, Kate's legacy continued to leave a huge mark on wrestling. She proved that resilience isn't just about being physically strong, it's about having the mental toughness to keep going. And as Kate's chapter closes, it opens the door for another wrestler whose own journey in the ring would go on to make her one of the most unforgettable figures in wrestling history. Jessica Havoc. You don't just watch a Jessica Havoc match. you hold your breath, knowing something wild is about to go down. Born Jessica Trick, Havoc made a name for herself in the wrestling world with her imposing 230-pound frame, fierce presence, and relentless style. Known for her time in TNA, she quickly became a dominant force, never afraid to push the limits. Debuting in 2004 as Jessica Havoc, she made waves in several indie promotions before breaking onto the larger stage. Her early years included stints with Mega Championship Wrestling, Cleveland All-Pro Wrestling, and Ohio Championship Wrestling, where she showcased her raw talent and started shaping her persona. But it was in TNA where she truly flourished. Havoc's intense, no-nonsense attitude, combined with her fearless approach to risk and her embrace of a villainous persona, made her an instant fan favorite. As she rose through the ranks, Havoc collected titles, including the AAW Women's Championship twice, cementing herself as one of the toughest women in the sport. Her strength is only matched by her unpredictability, making every match a thrilling ride. She's not just a wrestler, she's a powerhouse. Her legacy, built on grit, power, and the ability to keep audiences on the edge of their seats, has paved the way for other heavyweights in wrestling. And speaking of legacies, Tamina Snuka has her own unforgettable story in the world of wrestling. Subscribers pick. A strange image has recently surfaced online, showcasing a wildly exaggerated WWE character called Big Boobs BBW Vor. The catch? This character isn't real, it's just a creation from a WWE video game. What do you think of this oddball character? Let us know in the comments. Aja Kong. Aja Kong is a name that stands out for wrestling fans who love raw power and absolute dominance. Breaking into the scene in the 1980s, Aja quickly made her mark in All Japan Women's Pro Wrestling, where she became one of the most intimidating figures in the industry. Standing at 5'5" and weighing around 227 pounds, her sheer size and strength were unmatched. But it wasn't just about her physical presence. Aja's persona in the ring was equally fierce. She was known for rocking intimidating face paint, delivering hard-hitting strikes, and using all kinds of unconventional weapons, adding an extra layer of unpredictability to her matches. Her alliance with the notorious Dump Matsumoto's Gokuaku-do stable cemented her as one of the top villains in wrestling. What made Aja stand out, though, wasn't just her brute strength. She was surprisingly agile for someone of her size. This made her an extremely versatile competitor who could adapt to various wrestling styles. One of her most famous matches came in 1995 against Manami Toyota, a match still discussed today for its intensity and the way it told a story in the ring. Aja didn't just dominate in Japan, she also made a brief appearance in American promotions like WWE in the mid-1990s, showcasing her talents to a wider audience. Though her time in the United States was short, it left a lasting impression. Her influence can still be seen in the work of many modern wrestlers who take inspiration from her no-nonsense style and fearless approach to pushing boundaries. And speaking of legendary wrestling families, let's now turn to a woman who carried her family's wrestling legacy to new heights and became a true torchbearer for one of the most prestigious names in the business. Nicole Bass. With her bodybuilding background and intimidating size, Nicole Bass quickly became one of the most physically imposing women to ever step into the WWE ring. With a physique that screamed muscle and strength, she stood out thanks to her bodybuilding background. Even though her WWE run was on the shorter side, Nicole's massive size and tough, intimidating presence made her one of the most physically imposing women to ever step into that ring. Sure, her in-ring legacy might not have been as long-lasting as some other legends, but Nicole earned her spot on this list for one reason: that freakishly powerful presence of hers. She may not have held championships or had the longest career, but the moment she stepped into the ring, she made sure everyone knew she was one of the scariest women in WWE history. After leaving WWE, Nicole Bass kept busy wrestling on the independent circuit, showing up at public events and doing personal training gigs. She worked with promotions like Extreme Pro Wrestling and Combat Zone Wrestling, still flexing her incredible strength and presence. Her last match was back in 2002, but she stayed a fan favorite in the wrestling world. Sadly, on February 16, 2017, her girlfriend Kristen Marone posted some really tough news on Nicole's official Facebook. Nicole had been found unconscious at her apartment and was rushed to the hospital. Later that day, it was confirmed that she'd had a heart attack and was declared brain dead. Surrounded by her family and friends, she was taken off life support and passed away on February 17, 2017, at just 52 years old. It was a huge loss, but her impact on the wrestling world still lives on. Natalya Neidhart. Growing up in the legendary Hart family, Natalya was destined for greatness from the start, blending technical mastery and pure heart to become one of WWE's most iconic wrestlers. When you talk about wrestling royalty, Natalya Neidhart is undoubtedly at the very top of the list. Born on May 27, 1982, she hails from one of the most prestigious families in wrestling history, the legendary Hart family. As the daughter of the iconic Jim the Anvil Neidhart, she was practically destined for greatness. Natalya's career is built on a foundation of technical mastery and submission expertise, skills she began honing at an early age in the infamous Hart Dungeon, the notorious training ground that has produced some of the greatest wrestlers in the business. Her ability to break down opponents with methodical precision and flawless execution has made her one of WWE's most dangerous and respected competitors. With her signature sharpshooter, Natalya has carried the Hart family legacy forward while adding her own unique style to it. Over the years, she's earned her place as a champion, holding multiple titles, including the Divas Championship and the SmackDown Women's Championship. But Natalya's influence goes beyond the championships she's won. She's played a key role in breaking barriers for women in wrestling, including being one of the first women to compete in Saudi Arabia, where she showcased her resilience and strength on a global stage. Known for her warm heart and strong community involvement, Natalya is not just a champion inside the ring. She's also an ambassador for the sport. She's earned admiration for her authenticity, dedication, and for always being true to herself. Natalya's legacy is firmly cemented as one of the most important and beloved figures in WWE, and her contributions to the women's division will continue to inspire generations of wrestlers for years to come. Tamina Snuka. Born into wrestling royalty and carrying the legacy of her legendary father, Tamina Snuka has proven time and again that she's more than just muscle. Tamina Snuka is widely recognized for her incredible strength and powerhouse presence, making her one of the most formidable female wrestlers in WWE history. Standing at 5 feet 9 inches tall and weighing around 77 kilograms, she effortlessly blends raw power with athleticism in the ring, a combination that sets her apart from many others. Tamina hails from the legendary Anoa'i wrestling family, a lineage that has produced icons like The Rock and Roman Reigns. With such a rich heritage of fighters known for their strength, toughness, and undeniable charisma, Tamina proudly carries that legacy forward. Her father, the legendary Jimmy Superfly Snuka, was a WWE Hall of Famer known for his high-flying moves and magnetic presence, inspiring countless wrestlers and fans alike. Throughout her career, Tamina established herself as a true powerhouse, going head-to-head with top stars like Charlotte Flair and Sasha Banks, showcasing her unmatched toughness and strength. She made her mark in some of the toughest battles in WWE history, and her legacy will always be tied to her relentless spirit and resilience. After an incredible 14-year career, Tamina officially retired in July 2024, with her final match taking place on the March 3, 2023 episode of Main Event, where she faced off against Meiko Satomura. Charlotte Flair. Being Ric Flair's daughter might have opened the door, but Charlotte Flair kicked it wide open and has been making history ever since. Charlotte Flair, born Ashley Elizabeth Fleer on April 5, 1986, in Charlotte, North Carolina, is truly a wrestling icon. With Ric Flair as her father, she was born into a legacy of greatness. But from the start, Charlotte showed she wasn't just living in his shadow, She was carving out her own path to stardom. With an undeniable presence and aura of supremacy, Charlotte made her WWE debut in 2012, and it was clear from the start that she was destined for superstardom. Her unmatched athleticism, in-ring skill, and larger-than-life persona quickly earned her a spot as one of the most decorated female wrestlers of all time. Charlotte has racked up an incredible 14 Women's World Championships, including a record-breaking 6 WWE Raw Women's Championships and 7 SmackDown Women's Championships. But Charlotte's legacy isn't just about the titles. She's made history in other groundbreaking ways too. One of her defining moments came when she became the first woman in WWE history to headline WrestleMania 35. In an unforgettable triple threat match against Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey, Charlotte helped make history by headlining the flagship event for the first time. That moment solidified her place as one of the most influential and accomplished superstars to ever step into the WWE ring. Charlotte's relentless drive, resilience, and work ethic have earned her the respect of both fans and fellow competitors. Her technical skill and fierce determination have kept her at the top, proving time and time again that she's a force to be reckoned with. Even though she's faced injuries along the way, Charlotte's influence on the wrestling world remains undeniable. She continues to inspire fans and future wrestlers, showing that she's truly in a league of her own. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.